Our cover story tonight is the stuff of Hollywood films. It's too brazen and too brutal to happen in real life unless you're in Russia, where it's par for the course. This is the story of a 44-year-old man who is ruling global headlines today. The name is Alexei Navalny. The claim to fame is challenging Vladimir Putin. Navalny can be called the most consistent critic and political challenger to the Russian president. Today, he's in a coma, battling for his life. I told you it's the story of a spy thriller. So Alexei Navalny was on a flight. He collapsed. The flight had to make an emergency landing and now he's in hospital on life support. What happened to him? His team says he was poisoned. They call it a possible assassination attempt. And they say it's not the first time he's faced it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the very beginning. Early this morning, a flight made an emergency landing in Omsk, a city in Russia's Siberia. Alexei Navalny was on that flight. He was returning to Moscow from Tomsk. Navalny, as I told you, is a staunch critic of President Vladimir Putin of Russia. He tried to challenge Putin in the 2018 presidential election, but his presidential bid was blocked. Out of the race, Navalny continued to make news. He's repeatedly been put in jail, and now he's on ventilator. He was flying to Moscow. Moments after the plane took off, he fell ill and went to the lavatory of the plane. He did not return. A passenger on board recorded a video clip, this one. This may be disturbing. You will not see Navalny, but you will hear him crying out of pain. We've accessed another video. This one was beamed by Russian news outlets. And here you can see Alexei Navalny being wheeled out to an ambulance. Reports say he was unconscious when he was taken to hospital. His spokeswoman was on the same flight. She posted a tweet. It says, and I'm quoting, "They assume that Alexei was poisoned with something mixed with his tea." Then she issued an audio message.
Он сказал, что он плохо себя чувствует, попросил у меня салфетку, у него была испарина. Попросил с ним поговорить, потому что ему хочется сконцентрироваться на звуке голоса. Я с ним разговаривала, после чего к нам подъехала тележка с водой. Я спросила, поможет ли ему вода. Он сказал, что нет, наверное, все-таки ему нужно отойти, отошел в туалет и после этого потерял сознание. И он выпил только черный чай в аэропорту, в кафе в аэропорту. И мы предполагаем, что его отравили, и, очевидно, это произошло именно через чай. Из предвыборной кампании. Это, в принципе, я думаю, что я не знаю, как принимаются все эти решения, но, очевидно, власти исходят из каких-то собственных представлений о том, когда особенно опасная ситуация, и когда нужно каким-то образом нейтрализовать Алексея.
A photograph is circulating on social media. It corroborates the claims made by Navalny's spokeswoman. Reports say this was clicked just before he boarded the flight. Navalny can be seen having a cup of tea. If proved, this could be the moment when Alexei Navalny was poisoned. And I must mention here that the doctors have not said anything about a poison. And these are doctors in Russia, so I'm not sure how much will be revealed in the days and weeks ahead. What we can say for sure is that Navalny is serious. He's in a coma. He's on a ventilator in a hospital in Omsk. A deputy chief doctor of the hospital did speak to the media. He did not say if this was the result of poisoning.
The condition of the patient is stable. The intensive therapy is ongoing. We are doing dozens of tests of the condition of his blood, the work of the brain, and of other organs and systems. Doctors are really working on saving his life.
What about Moscow? The presidential office, the Kremlin, has issued a statement. The Russian government hopes for his speedy recovery and offers help. The statement says, and I quote, "Any request for Navalny's treatment abroad will be urgently considered." In the same breath, Putin's office also said that any suspicions of poisoning will have to be confirmed in a lab. None of this has stopped the accusations, though fingers are being pointed at the Kremlin. Navalny is the latest in a long list of Putin's rivals who have suffered sudden and in many cases fatal illnesses. And this is the second time Navalny has possibly been poisoned. Last year, he was hospitalized in the month of July. This was after he was sent to jail for planning street protests. Back then, he developed severe swelling and some other symptoms. He said he had been poisoned. His doctor suggested he could have been exposed to some toxic agent. We may never know for sure. For years now, Alexei Navalny has tried to pose a political challenge to Vladimir Putin. He has failed to replicate Putin's popularity or generate a sustainable momentum or movement against him. But he certainly managed to land himself in the crosshairs of the Putin administration.
Meet the man who many claim is Vladimir Putin's enemy number one, Alexei Navalny. In a country where dissent is not an option, Navalny has often been the face of Russian opposition.
In 2013, when Navalny was eyeing the office of Moscow's mayor,
He described himself as a democratic nationalist. He came second in that election, but the message was sent. Navalny has been arrested multiple times over alleged embezzlement charges, and he was sentenced to 5 years in jail in one of them. But both the cases have been questioned for the shoddy approach on the part of the authorities. Then came 2016, which many thought was Navalny's moment. He decided to launch a presidential bid for 2018.
however, the dream was short-lived. The country's election authorities blocked him from contesting.
Navalny has never shied away from calling a spade a spade. Once on a prominent radio show, Navalny openly called Russia's ruling United Russia Party a group of crooks and thieves. He also founded the Anti-Corruption Foundation, which digs into graft charges against the Kremlin. Navalny's resume is filled with anti-Kremlin rhetoric and accusations against Putin, and so it comes as no surprise that the word poisoning has been thrown around post his hospitalization. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.